Welcome into Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. We're here to break down the breaking news on Bronny James. Seems like mostly good news, at least as far as good news can be, following the cardiac arrest event that Bronny James suffered on Monday during a USC practice. He's out of intensive care. That's a very good sign for a cardiac arrest event. Here was the news broken today by the James family spokesman. It says, yesterday while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition and no longer in ICU. That's the intensive care unit. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family, and we will update media when there is more information available. LeBron and Savannah, that's LeBron James' wife, and of course the mother, wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes. We'll do a bit of a different style show in terms of what we ask you guys to do, but I think this is an easy one. Put your prayer emojis in the comment section to send those prayers for Bronny and the James family. I'm sure a terrifying event for the entire family and for Bronny James. I will say this, I'm not a doctor. I do know that if you're able to go from out of intensive care in like a 24-ish hour period, if not smaller than that, following a cardiac arrest event, that's normally a really good sign. We don't have any of the details beyond what the family spokesperson put out, so we're not going to speculate on the how or why, but what we can all do is throw those prayer emojis up in the comment section to send the good vibes for Bronny James. There's also a note from TMZ, because if anyone's going to have more details for this type of thing, it always seems to be TMZ. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Sports a 911 call was made at 9:26 a.m. Monday from USC's Galen Center, the venue where the team plays and practices, and the 18-year-old hooper who was unconscious was taken by ambulance to the hospital. I certainly don't want to speculate beyond that. I would assume, and this is my assumption, and I'm sure there's a doctor in the comment section who can provide more information than me, but if you're out of intensive care unit, I would assume that means Bronny's now conscious. Hopefully that's the case. Certainly want that to be the case. Not good to be unconscious for a long period of time. But again, the news of the day for the NBA, Bronny James did suffer a cardiac arrest event on Monday at a USC practice. He is now recovering and out of intensive care here. No other details, again, are known at this time. All we'll do is send the prayers, the good vibes to Bronny James. And hopefully, this, of course, I don't know, I always get a little tricky when talking about this thing. Like, the immediate concern is like, hopefully he's just okay again as a person. You know, there's the same thing with DeMar Hamlin. Football was secondary there. Basketball is certainly secondary now for Bronny James, who has had an immense amount of pressure on his life growing up as the son of one of the greatest players ever to do it, being a damn good player in his own right. You always think that basketball is kind of secondary to that. But there is a track record of this type of event, assuming it's similar, for players being able to return. And I know that will be the goal for Bronny James, assuming he's cleared medically. After all, the buzz going into this year was, can Bronny James make it to the NBA and get a chance to play with his dad? He's a 5-star recruit. This is for this upcoming part here, per the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings. 5-star recruit, 2023 in the class. He was number 22 overall. Seems like he had a massive breakout year in high school. He's number 5 ranked combo guard, number 4 player in the state of California. He's the first James, at least of the LeBron immediate family, to go to college. That's not something LeBron and Savannah had done. I know LeBron is immensely proud of his son for making it as far as he has and having the type of success, you know, academically and athletically that he's had. I know that's a big deal for LeBron and his family, and hopefully that this is just a little blimp in the road, a little bump in the road. Everything's fine beyond this. We have seen other players deal with this type of thing. I'm thinking of Keontae Johnson, right? His terrifying event during a game at Florida, and now he ends up going to Kansas State, transfers eventually, has great success there. Hopefully that is something similar that happens to Bronny here, that everything's okay. He's fine. He's able to make it back to college basketball and have success and make it to the NBA and have that type of long-term career that I know he certainly wants to have. So we'll continue to try to send some good vibes out here for Bronny and the James family. Everyone type Bronny in the comment section to show him some love. Hopefully we'll also help drown out what I know how social media works and how this tends to go. So maybe some of the less relevant comments or whatever. So spam Bronny for me in the comment section. If there is a maybe very slight silver lining to an event that's certainly terrifying and not a good thing, two notes I do want to make here that I think are relevant to the situation. Bronny James is friends with Shareef O'Neal, of course, Shaquille O'Neal's son, and potentially a good family resource to lean on, since remember, Shareef O'Neal had his own heart issues in college. He had a heart condition, wasn't really clear if he was going to be able to play basketball or not. Eventually was able to, played at UCLA, played at LSU, made it briefly to the G League as well for the NBA. So there is that, James and O'Neal know each other pretty well, both the sons and the dads. It does give a good resource to be able to lean on to talk to and help get through what is a very traumatic and terrifying ordeal. So again, hopefully it's the exact same thing relative to, hey, you have the heart condition, you have whatever caused the cardiac arrest, whatever the exact medical term is for why it went down. And much like Shareef O'Neal, much like DeMar Hamlin, it happens, it's scary. You're able to come through the other side and still play the sport that you love. And it's also worth mentioning that this is not the first USC player who has had this type of thing go on before. Of course, Shareef O'Neal played at UCLA, at LSU. Vincent, I hope I'm pronouncing this name correctly, Wuchukwu, I think I got that right. Vince also suffered a heart event. It was heart failure last year for USC during a practice, which maybe having gone through this a second time for the medical staff at USC made it, I don't know, easier. It feels like it's kind of the wrong term somehow, but they've gone through it. They know how to handle it there. He was actually hospitalized for several days. Was unclear if he was going to be able to play basketball again. He was also able to return to the court this past season and play for the USC Trojans. So there is that history of happened at USC, terrifying, was okay, and should be able to return. What caused the heart issue for Bronny James, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. Hopefully it's a minor thing. It's correctable. It's fixable. It's not going to cause long-term issues or whatever. But hopefully the good news is Bronny James will be okay. Sounds like that's the trend we're going on here with the James family statement. If something else happens, hopefully all good news here, we will keep you guys covered. So again, make sure you guys are subscribed to us here on Chat Sports. Free videos, NFL, NBA, major sports news like this one, which I guess kind of falls into college basketball, but it's LeBron's kids, certainly seems NBA related. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here for more free videos.